Welcome and thank you for joining us today on this webinar, this MBL webinar on artificial intelligence and trademarks. The specific topic that we're going to be looking at today is entitled Making Your Mark in a New Age of Branding. My name is Gareth Dixon. I'm a partner in the IP disputes team at Mishcon de Reya, and I'm based up in our Cambridge office. And I thought I wanted to start today's webinar by putting the topic of the discussion into a little bit of context. So over the last 25 or 30 years or so, we've seen a remarkable change that brand owners have had to deal with. From the mid-1990s to the late 1990s, the emergence of the internet was transformational. Not only was there a revolution in the speed with which communications could be sent around the world, and opportunities exploded for e-commerce, but we very quickly find that where something could be used for good ends, it could also be used for ill. It was not just the speed of delivery, which was a challenge for trademark owners, but also the newness of some of the ways that messages could be communicated and infringements could be perpetrated. And of course, those were not tied to bricks and mortar outlets. This could happen across the world in seconds. The courts, although they tried their best, were slow to halt that kind of infringement. It wasn't always necessary for parties in a dispute to have an elaborate treatise on the law. Sometimes you just needed a very quick resolution. And so we ended up with rights protection mechanisms such as the UDRP for domain name disputes and Vero and others for takedowns on e-commerce platforms. But of course, dots becoming domain names meant that when there was a finite number of domain names, sorry, let me start that last bit of sentence again. Now, of course, when dots became domain names, there was a finite number of domain names that could be made available to the public. And as good domain names and good top-level domains began to be used up, the domain name system expanded through the new GTLD program in 2012 and 2013. And that again presented more challenges for trademark owners who were trying to protect their marks online. Coupled to that was the emergence of social media and NFTs, and then subsequently in response to data and privacy concerns, the emergence of blockchain technologies have created yet another headache. So trademark owners are used to having to adapt to technological change. All that being said, the arrival of AI is perhaps the most significant development since at least the emergence of the internet. And while discussion has typically centered around its impact for copyright and patent issues, there is no doubting that it is highly significant for trademarks as well. And so in the course of today's webinar, we want to give an overview or an introduction to some of the main themes that are likely to arise at the intersection of AI and trademarks. The goal is to give you a better level of understanding of some of the key issues so that you can more easily issue spot and identify areas that will require some further research or investigation, but also to invite you to consider some of the broader issues that this kind of generational change gives rise to and which have not yet been addressed by the courts. We'll look at it in three general overviews, one focused on issues of liability, another one that's a little bit more abstract, looking at whether there is a detriment to trademarks more generally by the emergence of AI, and then we will finish up with some practical steps.